hey, it's Barry, and we all know that Xbox kind of fell behind in the console race this generation. Phil Spencer himself came out and said that they lost the console wars, and of course, they're moving on into the future with Xbox. They also said they will be doubling down on hardware. They won't be going anywhere with the Xbox consoles or anything. However, it does seem that sales for the Xbox hardware is really falling flat. It would kind of explain why they bringing their games over to PlayStation 5. Games like Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, and Pentiment, and not knocking any of these games, but there is a problem here. I really think the success of these games were due more to Sony lacking in games right now. There aren't a lot of first-party new experiences on Sony or AAA releases coming out from Sony developers right now. So I do think that some of the success can be attributed to that. But these are great games, not knocking it. I just think that maybe some Xbox players wouldn't even tell you these games are their favorite in the library. Wouldn't tell you it's like their best game of all time or anything like that. But they are performing really well on the charts on PlayStation Store. And I hope Xbox gets a lot of value bringing their games over to different consoles and seeing great success in that. Because a win for the gaming community is a win for all of us at the end of the day. I really hope that Xbox doesn't just disappear, which really isn't too likely as Xbox have the resources that gives them the ability to take losses for a pretty long time. But a huge fork in the road is that Xbox console sales are flatlining right now. They're not selling at all, regardless of sales, regardless of all the Microsoft's efforts, and we're going to talk about all of it. But before we do, I'd really appreciate it if you could just smash that like button, hit that subscribe bell. It really does help me out in the YouTube algorithm. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So it was reported a couple months ago that the PlayStation 5 is outselling the Xbox Series consoles 2-1, but it does seem that the gap is slowly getting wider as the Xbox consoles are tanking. It's no wonder that they are exploring bringing its games over to PS5 as the subtitle. And at the start of this generation, I kind of knew it was going to be a little hard for Xbox as PlayStation had the momentum, but I thought with the Game Pass initiatives and all the pro gamer stuff that they were doing, I thought I would be able to turn it around, but it seems it's just getting worse and worse. And after months of debate about Xbox future, it couldn't be more clear as to why Microsoft is experimenting with new multi-platform approaches as fewer and fewer people are buying Xboxes, and the tech giant announced its third quarter earnings that Xbox Series X and S revenues are down 30% year over year. It blamed the nosedive on a lower volume of consoles sold during the start of 2024. If that sounds like a repeat of last year, it's because it is. Xbox hardware revenue decreased 30% on a strong prior year comparable, driven by a lower volume of consoles sold, Microsoft reported back in April of 2023. So, of course, Microsoft is just dropping year over year in console sales. People are losing confidence in the console overall. And I think that these moves of multi-platform approaches, bringing their games, their exclusive games, mind you, the games that you can only get on Xbox, the whole purpose of you buying an Xbox console, I think them bringing it over to different platforms. They're going to carry some games over to the Switch, and of course they already have 7 of the top 25 games on the PlayStation 5 store, making them have more games on the top 25 bestsellers list than Sony does. The list includes 2 Fallout games, 2 first-party Microsoft titles that were previously only on Xbox consoles, of course the 4 games I showed earlier. And in February, the GTA 6 parent company Take-Two claimed in presentation to investors that there were roughly 77 million 9th-gen consoles in people's homes. It didn't take fans long to do the math and speculate that Microsoft only sold around 25 million Xbox Series X and S, and that puts it ahead of the GameCube, but behind the Nintendo 64, at least for now. Given the results of the quarter as well, it doesn't seem like Game Pass and Starfield has moved the needle that much. I don't think Starfield sold that many Microsoft consoles. I'm sure it was a big game for people who already owned the console. They probably enjoyed it exclusive. That rarely happens. But yeah, Sea of Thieves is the last of 4 games in its initial volley to come to PS5, dominated the store in its top sellers list last week, and CEO Satya Nadella specifically called out this during a call with investors, noting that Microsoft had more games in the top 25 bestsellers than PS5 and any other publishers, saying that they are committed to meeting players where they are bringing great games to more people on more devices. So this is something that they're going to be committed to. They're not changing up, bringing more games over to other systems. I'm not sure if we're going to get huge AAA games like Halo or Gears of War, the things that we actually want on the PS5, but we will see what is to come in the future. For now, at least, Xbox and Series X sales has gone from bad to worse, and Microsoft has made it very clear that it's not leaving its hardware consoles behind. Earlier this year, the company promised the next console would be the biggest technical leap yet in its hardware history, and Xbox President Sarah Bond recently said the company remains committed to backwards compatibility and game preservation for players' current and future libraries. So these are all pro gamer things to say. I really hope that they can change the whole outlook on Microsoft and Xbox as a whole, because people kind of take Xbox as a joke right now. There aren't a lot of exclusives. Big games on the consoles like Halo drop super buggy and just terrible, a huge slap in the face to fans. And honestly, guys, I think that Xbox needs to change it around, or its future wouldn't be too bright in the whole gaming space. I know their games are definitely going to be on PC, and they are making the whole initiative to bring it over to new consoles, but the whole biggest technical leap they're talking about with this new Pro Xbox, I don't know if power is going to push the needle in sales when it comes to hardware, as they did try the whole power approach when it came to the Xbox Series X, but time will tell. And with these games being so successful on different platforms, if players continue to flock to their games, it's not hard to imagine them bringing another batch of first-party exclusives to rival the platform, whether it means more recent blockbusters like Starfield or upcoming games like Indiana Jones that could someday be on PlayStation 5 or on Nintendo Switch, different consoles for us to play, because honestly, Xbox consoles are down a whole lot when it comes to sales compared to every other console right now. And this is probably their best bet, as the whole confidence on Xbox consoles really went through the ringer. But of course, this is my opinion. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below. I know many people love their Xbox. I'm not trying to start no console war or nothing. I'm just talking like facts about the consoles and what are happening. But it does seem pretty bleak for Microsoft, and I hope they can turn it around. If you play on Xbox, let me know what your thoughts about it down in the comments below. Your exclusive games, which is your favorite? Do you like the games that came to PS5? Do you care about it being on PS5? Let me know down in the comments below. I read all my comments, and of course, any subscription really does help me out, so I appreciate it. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.